YouTube, and welcome back to TCG. Today, we'll be going over the top 16 deck list breakdowns of both regionals that were happening in Bandai Card Game Fest in Dallas last weekend. I normally don't do these type of videos, but from here on out, we're going to leave no stone left unturned in my attempt to become the best content creator that you watch for Dragon Ball Fusion World. So let's set this video at 100 like goal so we can blow past that. And if you want some more exclusive content for competitive play, you can join my Patreon, links in the description, and we also have giveaways as often as I can get goodies. Right now, the grand prize for my current giveaway are these 3 leader binders going out to 3 lucky winners, amongst so many other things. So hop over to that link, check out the rest of the prizes, and comment to let me know that you're joined in. Last but not least, if you like Sparking Zero that's coming out in less than 3 weeks, or Dragon Ball Daima, or anything Dragon Ball at all, check out my other channel, Universe X, where we go over all these things because I'm a Dragon Ball fanatic. And with that being said, let us hop into the content. All right, so as you can see here, we got a nice little breakdown. We got 4 Bardocks, we got 4 Vegetas, blue Vegetas. We have 3 Android 17s, 2 Son Goku GTs, 1 Vegeta, yellow Vegeta, and 1 Gohan from set 1, the green deck, and 1 Beerus. So what we're gonna end up doing here is we're gonna set up all of the black decks, and then we're gonna go through them. That should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're gonna start with black because they are the most simple when it comes to these. They only have 1 set and 1 starter deck, so we're not gonna have a ton of variation. Now when it comes to the top list, the yellow Vegeta, I already got the interview from the player himself, Mr. Crow. So if you'd like to go over there, I'll put that up on the screen right now. I'll put a link in the description, things like that. Now, moving directly over to Bardock, we've already discussed its place. It's a 25 liter once it flips over. Black has an incredibly strong curve of, playing a 1-drop. Then if it has the energy marker or it played Kakarot on the first turn, you then move into playing the 3-drop to gain your energy marker back, and then you can move into the secret rare. Now if your opponent does not have an on-site removal for the secret rare, you can snowball very, very hard out of control. For instance, if you have another secret rare in hand, you're going to be able to play a second secret rare and then draw 2 at the end of turn. There's so many things that you can get done. So let's look at this one. This is the highest list, the highest placing list. This is 3 Giru, and Giru is very important for the 1-drop destruction, getting Pilos off the field. You add 10k, well, you have 10k combo, but you got rid of 10k with their combo. Against the yellow matchup, if they don't have Vegeta established, this is a very good card to mess with things. However, because Vegeta exists, normally you'll need a combination of Pan and Giru to get their engine off the board if you're not going to be attacking into it and they don't have, time rewound. The Para brothers are stupid good because the Para brothers are going to stop things like Bardock or Vegito 5 or Broly 8 in green from getting their advantage on you. Now this has 7 cantrips, and I'm going to let you guys know right now, I know that black is very limited, so you run a lot of cantrips. Some people run cantrips just to run cantrips. I've said it plenty of times on my Patreon, when you don't have 4 spaces in your deck and you don't know what to fill them up with, chances are you're just going to be thinking too hard to fill them up with stuff that you didn't come up with the top of your head. Unless it's an actually good tech with reasons for it being there, you're probably adding fill it to your deck. So in that case, add cantrips. 8 cantrips is a lot to me. 7 seems to be a lot to me because you're essentially saying that there are 7 cards, 7 spaces that just don't do anything in your deck. And if that's the case, that is the case. And with black, I'll allow it only because it's only 1 set so far. But you've got 7 cantrips here. Here you have the Kakarot card, just to be able to have a turn 1 energy marker. You have Hercule GT, this is the balanced version of Pilaf, Pan GT. You got this for Bardock, and this Bardock, I loved it when it first came out. I've been seeing it in and out of lists, not too often, but when it comes to this card, right? And by the way, shout outs to Eggman Events, that's where we are right now in order to look at these cards. So this is Eggman Events, go check out his channel if you haven't already. But you have Bardock. And this guy essentially is going to be able to just self-awaken, and if you combo him, he gains an extra 5k power. But the important part is that he's going to be in 10,000 combo power that you can flip off the top of your deck. So with that being said, he's going to be a card that once you're awakened, you can check, and if that's there, that's there. Then you have this Bardock. This Bardock is crucial to feeding off of your crucially, just free matchup, which is generally going to be green. Playing a Bardock on turn 2 with the energy marker and then playing another Bardock out on turn 3 is probably going to leave green fighting for their lives by the time they charge to 4 or 5 energy, and that is what you want to do. Now 3 of these Goku is interesting to me because I actually find that I want to open up with him, especially when I'm going second, but I'm not mad at it. 4 of these because that's mandatory. 3 is pretty mandatory if you're a double striker, and this double striker is also removal. 4 super combos and 3 10 times Kamehameha because this card gets rid of 2 drop double strikers. It gets, or sorry, crits. It gets rid of the Videl in blue. It gets rid of Vegeta 3 in blue, which can be really bad for your field because it allows certain cards to have better reach. Like it allows 4 drop Gohan to get rid of your secret rare and stuff like that. 10 times Kamehameha also touches, you know, the 2 drop crit Caulifla. It touches Gohans, which are very important to ripping apart your field. It just, there's so much reach for the 10 times Kamehameha. So I understand right there. Now, when it comes over to, why is there, okay, cool. When it comes over to the next one, we're gonna see the ratios are for the most part fairly similar. So this person chose to run 4 less cantrips, and in exchange, you can see here that he adds another copy of Bardock, another copy of GT Goku. There is no, there's another Para. And that's pretty much the main thing that changes. For those 3 Gokus that were right here, you have 1 more Para, 1 more of these, and 1 more of these. Now, I don't necessarily like the 4 Bardocks, but I understand wanting to have it when you want to have it. But you can see the trend here. There's not going to be a lot of variation because there's not a lot of cards in this deck. We're moving on to the next one. This guy runs way more of a, he kind of runs more of a Bardock-centric deck. Not even more, because he took out the Bardocks in exchange for the Shugesh, so they guys have another 2 drop 20k. But 4 Giru for the destruction, a total of 8 cantrips, 4 Para, 4 Hercule GT. Yeah, you can see this is all standard. The things that are really going to be the same for each deck generally is going to be these, just 4 and 4. And I dig that. Para is also really strong. Now we're gonna actually start seeing GT Goku, and there's not gonna be a terrible difference. You still got your 4 Bardocks and your 4. These, like, literally this L is the curve right here. You need the 10 times Kamehameha for crucial removal. You need the Bardocks to press green in the early game as well as other decks, and then you also need the Goku to hit your curve. Yeah, nothing stands out except the Mew here. You can just discard 1 card from your hand if you don't have an energy marker. Place 1 of your energy markers. It's a 10k, and that's fine. I do think that Kakarot gets the job done enough, but he just has some extra copies here, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's ensuring that there's not going to be a time he goes first where he doesn't get the energy marker, and I respect that. Moving on to the next Bardock. Once again, we're here with the 8 cantrips. He's got some 10Ks in here. I've always been a fan of this Gohan because he removes so much. He removes Vegetos, he removes Videls, he removes opposing Bardocks, he removes this 25k right here. He actually gets rid of a lot. When I play black, I actually like having at least 2 copies of him because I feel like the real estate that he's able to touch is very, very, very strong. Shout out to the people using Sun Gohan, the super combo, over Bra, because whoever made Bra's art was not cooking here, unless they wanted to end up on some Dateline NBC type stuff. But that being said, we are going to now move over to the last black deck, which is going to be another GT Goku. I actually like this build a lot. This one, I mean, I like it more on Bardock, but he wants to make sure that he has the correct amount of self-awakeners, and right here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, and that's pretty cool. 4 Paras are good, 4 GT Hercules are good for recycling. You've got the cornerstones right there. 3 here, that's the number I like, and then Sun Gohan GT. While this isn't the highest black deck that has gotten there, this is the one I like the most. I just would have played maybe something else other than this, but I like this list the most, personally. So now that we've seen that, we're going to move over to the next chunk, which is going to be the Vegeta deck list. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. Alright y'all, taking a quick moment to shout out the sponsors for this video. First up is Mystic TCG, a store based in Missouri that sells all sorts of TCG product, even more than what you see featured here on this page. They also buy singles, collections, and prize cards, so make sure you actually catch them out in their store in Missouri at an event, or even on their Facebook, just to be able to see the events here, but also ask them what they're up to and what they're looking for in terms of vending. You can also use the code UNIXTCG to get discounts off your pre-orders as well as orders, so make sure you get your TCG product while it's hot. Then you have Eclipse Cards and Hobby based out of Texas, and if that sounds familiar, they did sponsor me with a box of Fusion World Set 1. But as you can see on this page, there is a plethora of TCG products that they are actually having for sale at their establishment. You can also even buy things that aren't just TCG products. As you can see on the screen right here, they hold their own locals, they hold their own events, and they are going out to more and more events. You can actually check their Facebook to see their schedule, as well as call and ask about their vending list. And at the checkout for their website, you can use the code UNI10X to actually get percentages off your pre-orders or your orders. So go check it out as well. And we're always up to all sorts of things in Universe X. So you can go down the description and check the link tree to find out about my other channels, my Twitch, or any other avenues that I'm creating content on. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can always go down to any description on any video and find my Amazon affiliate links. These products here will differ from video to video to cater to the audience in question, but it's just very easy to see something that you may like or be interested in, open it up and choose the style and or color that'll work for you. All proceeds will give kickbacks to the channel, so there'll be some direct support, and I'll always appreciate the help from you guys. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. Yes, indeed, 2 stores, 2 amazing places to play your favorite games. Just to let you guys know, Mystic TCG just moved their location in Missouri, and soon we should actually have pre-orders up for set 4. So I'll let you guys know when I get more information, but you can always save from their site by using the code UNIXTCG. So let's get back to the content. Okay, so here we are with this first Vegeta list. I am going to just blow through these because we've seen a lot of Vegeta lists before. You've got 2 Bulma here. I actually personally just like this at 3 just because you have the ability to use it early game, mid game, late game. It's never dead, it's always combo power, and if you're staying unawakened for most of the game, this is one of the cards in the game that can help you stay unawakened and still push damage. 3 Zamasu is fine, you can't recycle it, but it can clog up your hand. 4 Peel Off is a given. Trunks Youth, as many blanks as you have, you put these in, like I said. My Future, this is another card I like at 3 just for consistency reasons. 4 Videl, absolutely fine. 4 Vegeta, it's completely fine playing this. He's going to help out your aggro matches when he can connect with the blue mirror. He's going to help out there. He's going to help in any match where you need to be lower to the ground and deny them a card. So basically androids for sure. This Vegito, I'm not going to hold you. The more and more I play him, the more and more I'm wary of him. I still think he has a place in the format, especially in the mirror, because he's able to one-tap Videls, even though Videl can recur her own, protection. But I do think this card's a little fat, and it doesn't stick around like it did in set 2. You have the Gohan. 3 is a perfect number for this in my opinion. Vegito, 2 seems a little low to me, but it is what it is. And then Vegeta also seems a little low. Like in Topku, in Deadku, you can get away with this number. You just see enough cards. I'm not sure if Vegeta, I mean, granted, this guy did win, but like there are some games where I only see 1 of these, even though I play personally 3 and 3. So that's a little weird for me. Then you have Zeno, and I think Zeno is very, very, very cool. This can be at 3, this can be at 4, either way is nitpicking. You have the super combos. 2 Final Hope Slash seems a little excessive to me. I feel like if you see, sometimes you see 1 and it can be annoying. Now, this card pops off with Videl in a pinch situation, can create 40 after 40 after 40k swing out of nowhere, but I'm a little wary about playing 2, especially since you can't use them on the defense. Galagon at 4 is a fair amount. 3, 4, I think any number of Galagons you can fit in the deck works. 2 Sinister Sickle and 1 Absolute Lightning. I get it. I personally feel like in this deck between Vegito, Gohan, and Vegeta, you actually have a lot of removal, bottom deck removal, and Sinister Sickle is not necessarily the end-all be-all because it's just that. These are all bodies that also get rid of bodies, and on top of that, the things that I find personally I have the most trouble moving are when androids turbo out into a 6-drop that I can't reach with this, and that's where I want Absolute Lightnings over Sinister Sickle. So that's just me. Moving on to the next one, this is going to be pretty standard. You got 2 Zamasus, goes even lower. For me, I feel like Zamasu is a card you want to see in the first 2 turns of the game or so, and I don't think you're not reliably getting into that with that low. This person values Mai a lot higher. but a 10k, you know, Earthling is a 10k Earthling. You've got the 4 Pilafs backbone. I do like Pan a lot because Pan has always been that filter for me. Doug at my locals is very not happy. Oh yeah, also shout out to Doug. He was one of the Bardocks we had earlier. But yeah, he always fights me on this Pan. But I still like the Pan. I just feel like you just cycle and find the cards that you need. 4 Trunks, 2 Bulma, already spoke about that. I think this is just flat out not correct. Like, Videl is actually just like a broken card in blue, but he still got there, and that's also cool. Vegeta, like I said, for your aggro matchups, 4 Vegeta, we already spoke about this. 3 Trunks is crazy to me, but he does work. He is a good alternative because sometimes you don't have the 5 to play, but you can play a 3 and then, you know, peel off and then have one up for Gun and still be in a great spot. And this guy's gonna bounce. So 3 seems a little aggressive, but you know what? If you love the card, you love the card. 3 for this, perfectly fine. 3 here, 2 Sickle. I see nothing that like just sets off my alarms. You got some tech stuff. I do think some of the numbers can be kind of evened out, but this is a good list. This is the Trunks as a tech is the one that gets me the most. Now moving on to the next one, 2 Bulma, 4 Mai, 4 Pilaf, 4 Trunks. So there's 6 cantrips in here, seems a little high. 4 Zamasu, clearly wants to open up with them. 4 Videl, that's absolutely fine. You got 4 Vegito, and then you've got 3, yeah, everybody's pretty much consensus. 3 Gohan's all you need. A full playset of Vegetos, 2 Vegetas, 4 Zenos, super combos, 2 and 3. So this person actually had mad sickles. And again, I can respect that. If you're expecting to see black in the mirror a lot, that works out a lot. The one thing that kind of makes me a little sad is that this is the smallest so far of our list. This is the lowest number of 10k Earthlings to pick up, if I'm not mistaken. Like this deck has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, never mind. Ignore me, because I just lied, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this one has a good concentration, but this one just, yeah, it's just, it's not quite a lot here. Yeah, they all have, I guess, around the same amount. So yeah, I don't see anything that, like, just like I said, sets off my alarms. And now we're gonna move over to the last one. This guy is using the Gotenks package, which I think is a little antiquated right now, but it does offer you a lot of 10Ks. So 4 Trunks draws, you've got the 4 Pilafs, you got the 2 Mais, you've got the 1 Goten here that bounces, 3 Gotens here that draws, but realistically you're not playing it. You're just kind of getting it back and comboing with it. 3 Videls, 2 Mighty Mass. You have the 4 Gotenks that cheats out another Gotenks. 3 Vegito, 2 Gohans, 2 Zamasu Fuse, and then you have a 3-2 split on the Vegito and the Vegeta. 4 Zeno, super combos, Gun, Sickle. Obviously, this person piloted this to an X1 finish. I have to say that this list I'm not exactly a fan of. A lot of the cards they chose not to play have utility and powerful effects, and in exchange you're just like, you're not using this card often. It's just a one-of for essentially balancing numbers, and if you see it, you see it. Any cards at 1, if you see it, you see it. Like, you're clearly not winning off the back of it. This card, you can play it out in the early game to draw a card and cycle, and after that you just never play it. This one you play it if you, I guess, want to get some aggro in against androids, and that is the one thing it's good for. This gets an attack off for 20, then bounces back for a Gotenks, so you will recycle a bunch of 10Ks, but I feel like this is more of a raw numbers game than it is an actual like utility control tempo game at that point. But yeah, that's just me. So now let's move over to the next list on the docket. Lists, actually. Moving over to the Android section of it. Nothing about this is going to be too out of place because this deck hasn't really evolved terribly much since set 2. The one thing I'm going to put out here is I do full on believe that if you are not running Big Bang Attack, you are not playing this list correctly, because Big Bang Attack gets rid of so many good cards in the format right now. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan Bardock in black. You're getting rid of opposing 5-drop Gohans in your mirrors. You're getting rid of Vegetos or Vegetas in lower in blue. And yeah, there's just too much on the line. But most importantly, Jiren can wall you out of an entire game if it resolves. But if you have 5-drop Gohan, which I think should be at 3 or 4 in every green deck, followed by Big Bang Attack, you can just tap it. For 6 energy, you can get rid of a card that you would usually never be able to get rid of for the rest of the game. So looking at this guy, we've got Android 20, good for consistency. The cantrips, of course, good for charging, good for defending, so you can bring back with energy. Krillins are a must. Yes, yes. This is tech choice, but yes. Staple broken. Yes, 2 to 3. I do think this should be higher. This is fine. This is fine. This is a tech. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, like the SCR, has always for me felt like it either wins the game or it gets charged. There's no in between. Like, you never just play this card and be like, that was decent. Like, it either breaks the game in half or you draw it and it's useless. So yeah, sorry my boy, but he's a beautiful alt art. Now this one actually has 3 Broly. I kind of don't like 3 Broly in these. My personal Android list, I like 4 because, again, against Jiren, you're able to pop it and then either pop it with Big Bang Attack or pop it and then swing. And yes, they're going to get 2 cards, but then you have to defend a 40k from a 45k, and you can attack it twice. Sorry, a 45 or 30k from a 45k, and that's actually really rough on your hand, even though you just drew 2 cards. That being said, you can bottom deck Broly with Android 20, and you can bottom deck Broly with Krillin. So I don't really trust just having 3 of these. It's too much of an important card. 3 Gigantic Meteor, I get the concession for combo power. 4 Destructive Strength, that makes sense, and then 2 Big Bang Attack, I think that's staple. Move over to the next one, you're going to see a lot of the same, one more. This is actually running the Trunks so that you can play the Trunks when you have 5 more energy. Generally, this can be reached as early as, if you're going first and you see Destructive Strength, this can be your turn 4 play. Because turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, you use Destructive Strength to go up to 4. Turn 4, you charge to 5, then you play this guy and you go to 6. And you still have 3 energy left over for a second one of these guys, a second one of Destructive Strength. So yeah, this guy is also running, yeah, everything's pretty standard here. I don't see a single thing. This is as cookie cutter as it get, but it's an Apex like warrior. Like, it has not needed to evolve. Big Bang Attack's the closest thing to evolution. 3 and 2, and I get that. Moving over to the next one, already you can see this is more unorthodox. You have the Bulmas for the draws, and you only have 2 of the cantrips. Kami, because I guess they are not trying to get blown out by 1-drops, but I don't think this deck really worries about 1-drops outside of, you know, the ones that could come out of Yellow Vegeta for the most part. Yeah, I don't actually, the Kami's kind of weird. I think that 3 Kamis is kind of weird, but you still got these, you got these. Vegeta feels a little awkward for here. This is at 3. Actually, it looks like the last list didn't run any 5-drop Goku or Gohans at all, which means it does not respect Jiren or a couple other things, and that's fine. I'm just surprised. If you don't see Jiren, you don't really need them, but also being able to tap 5 and blow up your opponent's SS4 Goku is important too. Looking at this list, outside of Big Bang Attack or getting to 8 energy with a 3-0, this deck has no way to clear SS4 Goku except by attacking into it. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, but if this is your list and you're watching this video, it just doesn't look like you played against a lot of black unless they just drew badly, because you have this list has no outs to an on curve. Like, if they play a Super Saiyan 4 Goku on turn 3, what does this deck do outside of Big Bang Attack at 2 to actually address it? That's my only issue. But again, congratulations to everybody that's gotten up here. We have this right here, and this is what I'd feel is better for me personally. I don't really like the Vegetas, but it's another 10k and it's another ramp. I do like this. Like I said, you have to be able to get rid of SS4, you have to be able to get rid of Bardock, which you can do with multiple cards here, and you have to be able to get rid of Jiren if it claps down the board. Now the next one's going to be a special treat. This is Gohan, and I've been telling people, I'm like, this deck can do some weird stuff. It's not exactly the most defensive when it comes to these decks, but I do like what it can do when you can stick the 5-drop Goku. So you've got the top 3 Searcher and this. You got this because it's going to keep your hand going and keep it big. This is the reason why you're playing Gohan, essentially. This guy can get rid of any 5-drop or less and send it to the energy. You have to be careful about which colors you use it on, because blue and black use their energy very efficiently, but can do some really gross things when they have more. If you put another energy into Jiren's pool, yeah, it's gonna be like okay, but like putting a 4-cost Jiren into energy to go from 4 to 5 so they can charge to 6 isn't going to be giving blue another energy so they charge from, you know, you could give them go up to 6 and they charge up to 7, and now they can play another 5-drop while playing peel off, while playing like it gets out of hand for certain colors. He's running the Gohan, and the Gohan can spit out these little guys, and this blocker will come out and then be able to block, and then, you know, he can't be destroyed when this is on the field. That's the thing you have to note. So if you end up playing out this blocker, they can't bottom deck it, they can't bounce it, they can't do anything, so they have to trigger it and you will get your ramp. You have the 2 double striker androids. 2 seems a little low, but I'm not really tripping. This makes sense because this card is no longer sticky and is actually kind of like bounced or tucked or blown out by many things. It's almost fraudulent. 2 big bang attacks, yeah. Because you have these 4 Goku, you can get away with the 3 destructive strength. I like 2 to 3, it really depends, but sometimes you do want to hold this Goku. In your worst matchups, holding this Goku to get rid of your opponent's outs or stickier cards makes sense. So this list is cool, and I am so happy that Gohan made it. So yeah, with that being said, let's move on to, I believe, the final deck of Saturday that we're going to be going over. So we now have the Beerus deck list, and I'm already seeing so many cards that I like just scrolling up and down here. I'm going to X out all these things, I do not like those. But so already we got 3 Margarita. This is great because once you are awakened, this is either a 1-drop 20k swinger, or it's going to add 20k onto the swinger of your choice. 3 Whis is nice. I would prefer to see some of the 10k combo Whis, but it's good to have this as a recurring just minus 5k. You got the 4 cannon trips, which is fine. Kefla is great because when you see like 2 or 3 of these against green, your critical pressure will generally fold the early game. You got some 10ks and self-awakeners here. Hit, of course. Gohan and Beerus go together like peanut butter and jelly. Minus 25k on the board is astounding. A 10k that you can also drop with Kefla in these. This being at 3 is a little weird for me. I understand you're only going to really use it once per game, but it's a self-awakener, it's a 10k, and against a lot of decks, when you drop Beerus that early, there's nothing they can do. Like when you drop Beerus, the only thing that black can do against this card is para it or lose cards in hand. When you drop it against blue, if you drop it as early as possible, blue has 1 to 2 turns where they cannot interact with this unless they play Absolute Lightning. Against yellow, they have to tap it down. Red probably has the best time of getting around it because they can just really mix a total of leader skill on Beerus and a Gohan plus 1 more thing. Like there's enough that red can do to get around it. But I love the Hellas. Hellas is just so good because as long as you have Hellas, you can always answer their Super Saiyan 4. The moment they play Super Saiyan 4, as long as you're awakened, Hellas, leader effect, bam, thing's gone. So I think that's actually just very, very, very strong. Then you've got the 3 Rumshi standard, 2 Son Goku. I like 3 outside of Jiren because with Jiren I feel like I'm going to draw into it no matter what. But with Beerus I feel like you might need a little help. But yeah, pretty quintessential, pretty standard. So I definitely am digging this deck. Okay, so I know I said it was going to be 2 or 1 video, but I'm going to have to make it 2. This was actually like a pretty meaty video, and I want to make sure that there's just not a 40-something, actually at this point it'd be closer to like 50-minute video going over another top 16. So tomorrow I'll put out the part 2, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, let's get that like count over 100, and I will see you in the next